Hello guys, in this class we will proceed with our project, P2 house, and using our resources available on the first class of the section, I will drag an image to use the vegetation that I have on it, and I will drag it to my image. So here I will rasterize layer, click with mouse right button, rasterize layer, and I'm gonna use the polygonal lasso tool to select an area that I want to use in my project. So select a bush area. I'll make a selection here and here. Close the polygon, Ctrl C to copy, create a new layer. This new layer I'll call Vegetation. One, and here, selecting this layer, I will paste, Ctrl V to paste, and now I can erase the image layer. I will select and delete this layer. So now I have just this part of the image, and using the move tool, I will move this bush here. I'll apply some opacity to see better the place where I need to position, and Ctrl T to free transform. I resize, keeping the shift to keep proportions, and I'll put here, so you define where I want to place it, and then now I will cut here some part that will be behind the wall. So using polygonal lasso tool, I'll select this area and press delete. Ctrl D to deselect, and now I will adjust using polygonal lasso tool the cut of this image. We will do a refined effect here to have a perfect cut of these plants. So now I'll make just something that is not so precise, but will give some effect. So using polygonal lasso tool, I'll do all the selection. I can accelerate the video for you to see the result. So now I'll close the polygon and erase this part of my image. I'll press delete, and I have a result that is far from being a good result for us. But now I will create a mask, selecting this vegetation, and now in this mask I will apply some effects to turn this transition smoother. So turning some areas black, you can erase the layer with mask. So we have here the black color, and now I'm gonna use the gradient tool. Using the gradient tool, I need to increase the opacity, and here applying black, you can see some smooth effect being applied over this part of my image. Maybe putting 100%, it's gonna be better. And I could also use the radio effect, and also could use, for example, the brush. So I could use brush tool. I'll press caps lock to see the size of my brush, and I could apply here. I need to increase opacity and flow. So using brush, I could adjust the areas that I want to erase. And so you have a smoother transition. If you do a zoom, it is still not very good, but this plant is gonna be far from our camera, and I think this result is enough. So we can keep this brush as it is, and I could control also the opacity of this element. Here I am selecting the grass, and here the bush. I could decrease a little bit, not too much, but maybe 91%. And now I will cut other parts of my image to insert here in this project. I have another image here where I'm gonna use this vegetation on a diagonal position to put beside my wall. So I'm gonna use the polygonal lasso tool. And again, I will select this area. Control C to copy. I will create a new layer, select the layer, Control V to paste. Erase the original layer with this image. And now I will drag this vegetation, Control T to select free transform, and click with mouse right button. I will apply the flip horizontal, and then clicking again, I'm gonna use some distort to make a right perspective for this plant. I think it is good now. And once again, I can apply the effects of using a mask. I'll select this layer, create a mask, and then I can apply the gradient using the linear mode. So I have this effect here, and the basis, Control Z to undo. You need to be careful. And now I think it is a good result. I will copy this element pressing Alt key. So I'll copy to complete the area, and I'll drag this layer below. So I have this vegetation, and I will apply here like a first plan, like plants on the first plan. I'm going to use another part of this image, so I'll drag here. I'll put it above, and here I'll select this area. I want to apply, I'll select here, already doing the cut that I need for the effect that I want. And then I will finalize the selection here. Just doing here the outlines. I'll select Control C to copy, create a new layer, Control V to paste, and erase the original layer. So here you apply, selecting this layer I'm gonna use the move tool to place this image, and again I can use the tools that I have to create a mask, and in this mask I'm gonna apply the gradient, linear gradient to make a smoother effect. So improve this transition, and now I think it is good. I could maybe decrease a little bit the opacity. Now to finish this class, I will show you how just to apply another feature here on Photoshop to make vegetation, and it is using the brush tool. On the internet you have the option of downloading some brushes, vegetation brushes, and we have as resources in the first class of this section this brush, Spirit Code, the grass brush. So here on Photoshop I can import this brush, selecting the brush tool. We have here on the upper bar the option of clicking on this icon, and going here you can import brushes. So I could select this file and load, and you see here the final of my list this Spirit Code, the grass brushes. So using this brush we have here the option of changing the size, and here is not activated to be used. I will create a new layer, and this layer I'll call Vegetation 2, and in this layer now I have the option, if you press the caps lock you see the format of this vegetation brush. So it will be applied according to the color you have here as a primary color. I could select a green, or even use the eyedropper to select some green area on my project. For example, if I use here the eyedropper and get some green color here on the grass, you see the change in here. And selecting the brush, I have this first brush, and clicking you see the effect, and you could apply some variations according to opacity and flow. So if I decrease the opacity or flow, you see a smoother application, a soft application, and then I can explore here the other options I have. I'll press Ctrl Z. I'll apply here in some area that could be more useful. So here I have these options. I could use some lighter color, so I change here to another brush. Let's see. I have here this option, so I could apply some effects. I'll change here the green. So I could vary the size. Select another brush. You can explore all these types. I'll put here just one more. Increase the size. It was too much. And I could have it, of course, behind this plant that I have here. So I'll drag the layer. So now it is behind. And we have the conclusion of our vegetation here. Okay guys, I'll wait for you in the next classes. Bye bye.